Shabbat Shalom, everyone. These were the marches of the Israelites who started out from the land of Egypt, troop by troop, in the charge of Moshe and Aaron. Moshe recorded the starting points of their various marches as directed by God. Their marches by starting points were as follows. They set out from Ramses in the first month. On the 15th day of the first month, it was on the morrow of the Passover offering that the Israelites started out defiantly in plain view of all Egyptians. The Israelites set out from Ramses and encamped in Sukkot. They set out from Sukkot and encamped at Etham, which is on the edge of the wilderness. They set out from Etham and turned about toward Pi Hahirot, which faces Baal Zephon, and they encamped before Migdal. I'm reading for you, this is from our Torah portion. This is a quote from the Torah portion for this week, Maasei. And I can tell you it just goes on and on and on, listing all possible geographic locations that Israelites encamped at. And this is, hands down, one of the most boring sections of the Torah. It takes an entire chapter, 50 verses, just to list the places in the ancient Canaan. And what are these places? Mara, Elim, Dovkar, Kibrot, Hatava. Now, these names say nothing to me. I don't even know if I pronounced them correctly. And so what is the deal with these places? Why are they listed in the Torah? One answer, I would say the simple answer is that, it is what it is. It is a written account of the journey of Israelites, of our ancestors, and it gives us a perspective of how long was this journey and how complicated it was. And it also makes it more realistic in a sense, right? They did not just travel in some abstract desert, but they had very specific, concrete places and locations. But still, it's not exactly inspiring to read through this chapter. Our normal human reaction is to skip this mentionings of the places that we don't know, really, and get to the part where something happens. Something happens in the story. But our tradition, in the name of many, many teachers, reaffirms that there are no unnecessary words in the Torah. Rabbeinu Bachya, who lived in Spain in 13th and 14th century, says, the Torah is all hints. It has no word or letters that was not stated for a necessary reason. So armed with this principle, I decided to look into this, into the meanings of this chapter and the locations listed. What are they hinting at? Tradition says that there are 42 stops, names in this portion in the Torah. And this year I counted them actually, and I confirmed that there are 42. And number 42 has a huge significance in the Jewish teaching and actually in pop culture. In Douglas Adams' book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, have you read it? Raise your hand. Okay, good. 42 is the number from which all meaning, the meaning of life, the universe, and everything can be derived. 42 is the actual answer, according to the book, to the question, what is the meaning of life? And I don't know if Douglas Adams had any knowledge of Judaism or of Talmud, but number 42 is a very popular concept on the internet these days. 42 is a mystery. It's this kind of an absurd idea. It's a concept that is not expressed in words, but in the abstract number. It's the answer to the questions that cannot be answered. And I often see it on the internet in various chats and comments, and someone asks a complicated question, and then some person just randomly says 42. This is the answer. Now, if you see it on the internet, just someone says 42, you know what it refers to. It means that this is the actual answer to the question, what is the meaning of life? In Babylonian Talmud, in Tractate Kiddushin 71a, it says that Rav Yehuda says, that Rav says, the 42-letter name of God may be transmitted only to one who is discreet and humble and stands at least half of his life and doesn't get angry and doesn't get drunk and does not insist upon his rights. And anyone who knows this name is careful with it and guards it in purity and is beloved above and treasured below, and fear of him is cast upon all creatures, and he inherits two worlds, this world and the world to come. So there is special significance to the number 42 and the secret name of God that consists of 42 letters. It says, for a person who doesn't get angry and doesn't insist upon their rights, so you know this name was never revealed to me, but over the centuries, the Jewish mystical tradition found this number 42 in so many texts. For example, if you read Shema, the part that it says, Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, this is 42 words. You can count it. And also the first section of Amidah is also 42 words. So next time you recite it, you can check if it's 42 or not. And what does it mean? I really like the commentary of Rabbi Amy Grossblatt-Pesach. And she teaches in this regard that this ongoing usage of the number 42 indicates God's eternal presence in our people's history. God was not only present with our ancestors during the 42 encampments in the wilderness, but continues to be with us as we recite these 42 word prayers in our liturgy. Just as God's presence remained with them, so too does it remain with us. In our tradition, we believe that God is with us every step of the way and every breath that we take. But if God never leaves us or forsakes us, then why is it so hard sometimes to see God's presence in our lives? Every one of us comes to the point in life when we ask, where is God? And I believe that's why we have this 42 locations listed in the Torah. You see, Israel constantly forgot the miracles and the blessings that God performed for them. They complained, they struggled, they even worshipped other gods occasionally. But God told Moshe to write down all these places through which Israel journeyed so that they recall the miracles that God performed for them. When we're in distress, it's very difficult to remember the blessings that brought us to this day. The human psyche is geared to remember negative experience more vividly than positive ones. It's just natural. That's why we have the record of all the stops on the way to the promised land, so we can appreciate all miracles that we in our lives encountered. Now, question to you: can you think of any blessings and miracles that happened in your life? Can you count 42 of them? I'm serious. 42 seems like a big number. But when you start thinking about it and literally count your blessings, you will find much more than 42. I promise you that. And I don't ask you to name all 42 blessings like right now. You can do it later when you're in bed and can't fall asleep, perhaps. But I want you to think about at least one miracle that happened to you. One miracle. I give you 1 minute to think about it. Take this miracle and keep it with you for the times when you feel stressed and discouraged, unhappy or lost. Remember about the miracles that brought us all here today. I don't know what Douglas Adams meant, but this is the meaning of life, at least for me. Find blessings in sadness, and find healing in pain, and find light in darkness, and to see the glimpse of God in every step of the way and every breath we take. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. If that were easy, we would not need the wisdom of the Torah at all, right? I am grateful for everything that God has given to me. And I'm wishing all of us to find strength through the blessings and miracles in our lives. And I'm wishing you all Shabbat Shalom.